All right, good morning, everybody. Good morning. So I wanted to start out by going over a couple of things here with our newest flip that we have going on in Naperville that we finished, and we're getting a bunch of offers in. And so I think this conversation is mostly to the realtors out there. So a lot of you don't know, but I'm a licensed loan officer, and I've been doing it for a very long time. I've done every single type of loan you can think of, and what I've noticed is that some loan officers don't generate good pre-approvals, meaning they're gonna just have a conversation on the phone with a person. They're gonna tell them, "Oh, I make this much money," and they're gonna write a blank pre-approval and send it over to you. Please be very careful of those pre-approvals, because there's one thing that's a pre-approval, a pre-qualification, and a conditional loan approval. So as a realtor, you have the right to ask questions about the pre-approval. You have the right to ask about the DU findings. Some will give you a pushback, and some will send it to you right away because they have nothing to hide. We had one of our buyers that made an offer on our property. We kind of dug a little bit deep because the loan officer, me being a loan officer, I know what I'm doing, and I can tell little red flags and certain things. And so one of the buyers that we had a high offer on and everything else, he was putting 10% down. We first, they gave us a pushback on the DU findings, then they just sent the first page, and then we asked him about the employment history. And so we found out about that he's a 1099 truck driver, right? And what do we know about truck driving in the last 2 years? It's been going down. So me, as a loan officer, I know that when I calculate self-employment income, and if there's a decrease of 20% of pay, I'm not going to be able to use what the calculator or what the self-employment calculator spits out at me. They're going to take the lower of the two, and then they're going to be asking questions about, well, why did your income go down? So always be very careful when you're pre-approving somebody, especially when they have a high DTI, that's an income ratio. And with Fannie and Freddie Mac, the highest you can go is 49.99, and ours was about 45. So we, and then what I also did was I went ahead and I reached out to, well, actually my realtor, he reached out to the managing loan officer over there of the person that was managing the loan officer, because I went on a website called Consumer NMLSaccess.org, and I was able to find out that this loan officer just got licensed. He was working at a restaurant or a store, and it's funny because these people are order takers. I'm sorry, loan officers. You guys are order takers when you're new. You don't know what you're doing. There's so much more complexity involved in doing loans and understanding guidelines and understanding Fannie, Freddie, FHA, USDA. And then you get into self-employment income and corporations and partnerships and sole proprietorships and Schedule E's. And you got to know your stuff. I mean, you got to know it really well. Or else one wrong keystroke, one wrong anything is going to kill the deal. So funny thing is, because we're asking questions, They send us a nice little email saying, "Oh, my seller is no longer comfortable going with you because of the fact that you guys were, asking all these questions," and we're like, we are we are the sellers. Like, this is our property. We can ask questions, right? We have 5, 6, 7 offers on the table, and we chose your offer. If you can't answer our questions for us, with honesty, and if there's something for you to hide, then there's no point of us moving forward. We don't want our transaction to be blown up because you didn't know how to calculate that to income ratios when it was already at a 45%, which is, you're almost maxed out there. So one wrong move, and it's not going to work out. and so so for realtors, take your pre-approvals as a grain of salt. Honestly, most of them are worth nothing. I'm sorry to say. I mean, as much as I hate to say, a lot of them are just trash. So, if you want to be sure, ask for the DU findings, ask for a conditional loan approval. A lot of lenders like UWM, they'll be able to pre-underwrite the deal already and give you a conditional loan approval, so you can be confident that that person is going to be qualified for the property. Another thing that you can also do is, like I said, look up the loan officer. A lot of the good loan officers left this business a long time ago. Guys with many years of experience left to do other ventures. So now they're just hiring a lot of new loan officers with the promise of them making a lot of money. What money? What money, guys? What money? We're at the highest interest rate environment. Deals are getting blown up. Why do you think sub 2 is so popular in seller financing? Because these realtors are having these houses on the market for 60, 90, 120 days just to get an offer, just to get the offer, then rejected by underwriting because the loan officer didn't do his job the right way and sent some fugazi pre-approval to the realtor. So you got to be careful with that stuff. So now we got another offer, and they sent us over to DU findings. And this is funny too. I'm looking at this offer, and this person makes like $9,000 a month, but I look at the assets and I'm like, there's zero assets. I'm like, okay, so what are they getting? Come to find out, they're getting a grant. And I know I used to do down payment assistance loans, and those were one of the hardest because I used to pull my hair out, because it was so much work to do for such little money. And people were, we weren't meeting deadlines because it was taking too long for the grants to come in and things like that. And I'm also thinking, like, how is somebody getting a grant making over 100 grand a year? There are certain income limits and thresholds that you have that you cannot get a grant if you don't make a certain amount of money. Maybe there are some programs, but the programs that I know are Home Possible or Home Ready. And those two programs do have income limits. When you type in the zip code, they'll give you an income limit, and it'll tell you exactly how much it is. You cannot go over the average median income. So if you're making $9,000 a month, which is over almost $100,000 a year, most likely you're going over that income threshold. So you got to double check that too. So that was a red flag as well for me. Somebody that's buying a property and has zero money, that could definitely blow up in your face too. So I guess we're on to possibly our third offer. So we have like 6, 7 offers that we have on the table. But if somebody's not willing to provide you information, like these people, boom, send us the DU findings right away. DU findings are just basically what they put in the information. They run it through a system. It's called direct underwriting system, and it spits out approve eligible or ineligible. That's it. There's no real personal information on there. It's just their information, how much they're making, how much assets they're bringing into closing, things like that, just to make sure that you get your ducks in a row, right? Because you don't want that to get blown up. Now I'm on the investment side. I'm an investor, right? So So now I have to check these things because a lot of business that I do with realtors in the industry, what is the first thing they tell me is, oh, the deal didn't go through. The deal didn't go through, right? With a traditional buyer. And I know why. Because they took that pre-approval that was worth nothing, right? Because honestly, guys, I can make a pre-approval for anyone watching this, and I can send it to you. I can sign it too. What's gonna happen, right? I said, oh yeah, I took a verbal. I spoke with the customer over the phone. He gave me that information. Why should I not trust him, right? So there's different things. There's pre-approvals, there's pre-qualifications, there's conditional loan approvals. So if you're a realtor and you're watching this in this day and age, in this market, man, I would not take a pre-approval as a sign of the person being approved, especially when the loan officer just got their license 4 months ago. Wow, it's crazy. It's crazy to think about it. So yeah, so I guess we're just weeding out people, and good because we don't want to get blown up in our face and then spend another month or two going through the process or them delaying the process and things like that. So just be careful out there, guys, especially for self-employed people. Their income went down. Their income went down, and so the underwriters are not going to use their highest income if they have to qualify for 2 years. So the way it works is if you've been at a job or if you have a history of 5 years of self-employment income and you have decent enough credit to get approved through Fannie or Freddie Mac, they'll give you just 1 year tax return required, right? Which is great because then you don't have to use a 2 year tax returns. So 1 year tax return is what you're going to want to use. And then that's fine, right? That's cool because that gives them the highest income possible. But then you also have to make sure that the loan officer understands how to calculate self-employment income because it is an art. I've done people with like 5, 10 businesses, 10 properties, rental income, all that stuff. And it gets pretty complex if you don't know what you're doing. So you got to be careful for that. Another some other things for you guys is yesterday I learned a couple cool new things on the Morby method, which really grateful for Jay Holder. He's in sub 2 to spend some time with me. I really appreciate that. I'm like a visual person, kind of like a whiteboard kind of guy, so I need to see the numbers. It's funny because I'm like, I'm dyslexic when it comes to like counting, kind of subtracting and adding. I don't know what it is about me, but I'm not the best at it when it comes to small numbers. But you give me big numbers, you give me percentages, multiplications, divisions, and like my brain is just wired to work that way. Maybe because I've been doing mortgages for such a long time, and it's allowed me to decipher and quickly analyze, those types of equations. But when it comes to, being at a restaurant and calculating 6 plus 9 or 15 plus 7 or whatever, or like just something weird, something small that you would think is like funny. Yeah, that's kind of me. I don't know why I'm like that, but the other ones I'm actually I'm very good at. So when it comes to numbers, big numbers, and calculating cap rates and all that stuff, yeah, I guess I understand I guess I understand the complex things, and I second guess the non-complex things. So really cool. I had a really cool Zoom meeting yesterday with a couple guys. We're still in process of buying that property in Washington D.C. We just got the roof inspection back. Yeah, we're getting the roof inspection back today, and unfortunately, the life expectancy on that roof, it's a flat roof, it's a flat tar roof, in DC is going to be about, I would say, the guy said 2 years left on it. So that's a little bit of a concern because those roofs are expensive. It's a big house. It's like 4,000 square feet. It's a duplex, and it's going to cost us about 25,000. So probably going to go back to the seller to see what they can do about that because we're giving them a big down payment. We're doing a mortgage method on this one, and also we have the what do you call it? a couple of little minor issues, a couple of leaks, which is going to get fixed for a small amount, so not a big deal. So that's probably our biggest deal right now is the roof. So we're going to see what the seller says. But we're excited because it's a really nice property, and we're going to do co-living on it. And my partner Nick he's a good operator, became a good friend of mine, and we're moving forward. So we're pretty excited about that. Got a couple deals going on right now in Chicago that I'm going to be putting under contract. So if anybody's looking for maybe some condos in the city, in good areas, west side areas, nothing on the south side. And we got some good condos on the west side. I'm going to put it under contract. If you're somebody in the Chicagoland area, you want to connect with me, please do. I'm over here up in Glen Ellen, nowhere to hide. My office is here. If you have something cool to maybe talk about and you want to be on my podcast, shoot me a DM. Let's chat. And if you want a joint venture, if you have a deal under contract, come by. I can help you. I can help you dispose it. I have a ton of buyers, creative and non-creative buyers. We have a lot of those. And I also have I also have cartel mode for investor lift, which is really cool. And I have a pretty cool system set up right now. So if you guys are want to deal with pre-foreclosures, want to do door knocking and stuff, shoot me a DM. I can show you some tips and tricks on how to do things. And I have a couple of different ways that we can work together as well. So if you're out there, you're new, or if you're maybe an experienced person who just wants to be part of a team and learn more and do all that cool stuff, let me know. But guys, there is a event that I'm doing on March 14th. So just make sure it's on Eventbrite. It's if you search Creative Finance with Kreative Mike, it comes up on there. It's in Schaumburg, Illinois. Tickets are going fast because they're free. So we only have 48 seats available, and that's it. So after 48, I have to close the doors because based on the fire marshal code, they won't let anybody else in. I'm going to have a guest speaker as well, surprise guest speaker. He's a very intelligent guy, and he always makes me laugh. And if he hears this podcast, he's going to know why he makes me laugh. He's funny. He's a funny guy. So if you want to learn, and you don't got to come out here and make a ton of money. Just take it step by step. Go past your fears. Don't have analysis paralysis, right? Which is what I call. Well, joint venture, it'll be fun. I'm gonna make this a really cool event. It's gonna be different than anything you've ever else been in. I'll tell you this much: on March 14th, 2025, in Schaumburg, Illinois, you are going to know every single person in that room by the time you leave. So, just remember that. When was the last time you went to an event and you met every single person there? Probably never, right? So I'm going to change that. That is what I'm going to change. We're no longer going to be with our little cliques. We're no longer going to be just associating and socializing with our friends and best friends. We're going to be socializing with strangers that you've never met before. So that's going to be the difference. And then we're going to collaborate and work together and see how we can help each other and make money for ourselves and for our families. And of course, if you make money, you want to give back a little bit. Maybe it's for your church, maybe it's for charity, maybe it's for somebody else. But you always got to be grateful with what you're making, because anything could be taken away any day, any moment of this life, whether it's your money, your relationship, your wealth, or your happiness. It could be taken away. So don't take it for granted. Take little strides. Take baby steps. Remember, it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. And when you align with somebody, continue aligning with them. Don't jump from one person to the other. When you cultivate a good relationship, it's something that you must hold dearly to your heart, and make sure you let the other person know, hey, listen, I appreciate you. I appreciate how we've worked together, how we're collaborating, and I want to continue to work with you. And that's something that you want to learn. And just remember, guys, a big big piece, small piece of a big pie is better than nothing of the whole pie. Or let me see here. I forgot to say that. But anyways, you want to have little chunks of a big pie. You want to join venture because it gets stressful. It gets really, really stressful when you're doing it alone. But when you have people that you can work with, they can take care of one thing, you can take care of another thing. It's such a cool like camaraderie type thing. It's fun, then it becomes fun because you're doing more projects now, and all the headaches are not on you. You basically kind of split the headaches, which is fine. But in life, you got to choose your hard, right? So either you choose your hard, sitting in front of the TV, watching and doing nothing, or going out there and making something happen. Thank you for listening. Appreciate you guys following. If you're not following me, I have a YouTube channel. It's Kreative Mike. If you're not following my Facebook group, it's Creative Finance with Kreative Mike. That's my Facebook group. So please join. And my Instagram handle is creative_Mike. Appreciate you guys. Have a wonderful day. And as always, stay creative, my friends.